Hi friends, in this video we will see about the static methods and static properties in the TypeScript. So just like the ES6 how it supports static methods and static properties, TypeScript also supports the same way. Let's see with a simple example. Here you can see we will continue with the old example only. Here I have a department and here I have an IT department and I am having here something like accounting department, right? Now department thing. So for example, I have a some static I have one method something like create employee. Okay, so this one will take name is equal to string and this returns just only what I can say is return uh, name as an object. So employee object will return just the employee object, just remember. So now this create employee thing, what it will do is it just takes the name as an output and it returns that employee name as an object. Now here it doesn't do anything, it doesn't have anything to do with the instance of the department class. Okay, it does, this method doesn't have anything to do with the this operator, something like this is there, right? So this thing, this doesn't have to do anything with that. This is nothing but what we can say is it is an instance of this class. Okay, so for calling this create employee, what I need to do now, I need to do something like new department. I need to create new department and then I need to call dot create employee, like this I need to call. So creating a method, what we can say, creating an instance and calling like this. So there is no matter for this one. Okay, calling like this is, there is no matter for this one. So instead of doing this one, okay, why can't we call directly with the, what we can say, directly with the class name without creating an instance? So it will be better for that one. So if you see in the JavaScript and everything, so if you we see there, you will be having math operator. Okay, math, this is nothing but what we can say is math constructor function, or we can say is math object. Okay, so math we will not create, we will be having something like math dot pi. Okay, it will it returns the pi value of the, it returns the pi value. So there is, so there now we are not calling anything with new math by calling the instance and not calling like that. So math with using the math class name and calling the methods inside the, or properties inside the class, we are using the math thing. So we have another option, another methods also, something like pow, it returns the power of the power of the number. And here all the things, whatever things you are having, these are all the static properties or static methods. Okay, so in the same scenario, if we create this employee as a static method, so that without creating an instance we can directly call the method. So in order to create in order to make this employee as a static method, we need to keep static before the, what we can say, before that method. Now if we keep static before the method, now what I can do is I can directly call console.log department dot create employee. I can call directly without calling any without creating any instance. So here if I create an employee and if I check the output here, I will be getting name Leela as an object. Here you can see the thing. Okay, and another thing what I can tell you is, so in the same scenario how we have created the static method, we can also create the static property also. For example, I have, for this department I need to mention this financial year. So financial year is equal to something like 2020. So this what we can say, this property doesn't have to do anything with the instance. Now what I can do is just I can keep here static like this. Okay, I can directly call something like here like this, and also department dot financial year I can call like this also. Now if I try to execute here, I will be getting 2020. Now if I want to change the financial year also, I can change directly department dot financial year is equal to 2030 or something like this. Okay, now if I refresh here, I will be able to see 2030, the number is also changed. So without creating the instance of the department, we are directly able to access the methods and the properties of that class. Okay, and another thing what you need to remember is this static thing. For example, financial year, you don't want to change this financial year. Okay, so if you define this financially, it should be constant like that only for the class. You can also mention read only for this one, so that this one will become a constant like that. So now here we got an error, something like we cannot assign 2030 like this. Yeah, we got an error. If you see here, we got an error. So it will be 2020 all the time. If you refresh it here, you will be having 2020 all the time. You will be not able to change this financial year. It will be constant. So in order to mention this constant type of things in the class, you can mention static read only like this. You can mention. And also you need to remember one thing, that you cannot call with the non-static methods, something like the non-static methods. We cannot call this static properties. We cannot call in this one. So for example, if you want to call this financial year, you cannot call with this dot financial year like this. You cannot call. Okay, if you call here, you will get an error. Okay, so property financial is a static member of type department. So if you want to call this one, you need to call using the class name department dot. You need to call like this only. Okay, so everywhere if you want to use it in a static property also, you need to call like this only. Okay, so this is one of the thing how you need to call in the you can then also you need to remember that you cannot call this operator also in this one, this dot create sorry, this dot add employee like this also you cannot call. Why? Because this also will not work here. Why? Because this refers to the instance of the class. Okay, the instance of the class, whichever we have created the instance of the class, for that this refers to this one. But here this method doesn't have to deal with the instance. It can be called directly without creating an instance. So that is the reason we cannot use the this here. And also we cannot call the static methods or any static properties using this operator in another non-static methods thing. So you need to call with using the class name department dot like this. You need to add the class name. Okay, this is all about the static methods and the static properties in the Typescript. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.